How much tax do you pay on $60,000 of income in North Carolina? That's what we're going to talk about here today. So North Carolina residents or soon-to-be residents, you're going to find out how much tax you pay on $60,000. So if you like what you see here at Heritage Wealth Planning and you're looking for the other 49 states, you know you've come to the right place. So don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to go to the blog at heritagewealthplanning.com. So let's dive right into it. By special request, North Carolina is going to jump the queue. Normally I go in alphabetical order, but gentlemen, one of my subscribers asked me to do North Carolina next. So that's what we'll do here today. And as always, we start with Heritage Wealth Planning. It's my website, my blog, and you know you're here when you see the beautiful scenery of Peaks Island, Maine, which is where I was born and raised. And so what you want to do is you want to hit Tax Tools, go to the top right, hit Tax Tools, and hit Interactive Tax Page. Interactive Tax Page, and that will show you, if it will show us. Hold on, there we go. All right, so then you get your federal interactive tax tool that shows up. It's loading slowly today. Normally it loads a lot quicker, but that's okay. This is the taxfoundation.org, their interactive tax tool that they allowed me to place on my website, and you can create all kinds of different scenarios in terms of what your taxes will be. Give the new TCJA, the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, otherwise known as the Trump tax cut. But what we want is we want state tax tools. We're going to go down here to state tax tools. This is from smartasset.com. Again, they've granted me permission to use this on my website as well. And we want to go to the light blue state of North Carolina, which is, I think that's moderately tax friendly. And so we'll see. All right, so let's go into it. Now, remember, the concept is here, we are married filing jointly. And we're born in 1952. And it's moving slowly today. Not sure why that is. All right, might be my my router or something like that. Anyway, or the Wi-Fi. So we want to go to 1952, so we can be 66 years old to make sure we get full advantage of all the standard deductions, which is $26,600 for a married couple filing jointly. And so we're going to start with $40,000 in Social Security. And then we're going to go to $20,000 in IRA income. And let's make sure we don't have any pension in here, which we don't. Okay, so there we go. So we pay $174. I got to write this down because I do keep a record to go in my next book, which is State-by-State Tax Guide for Retirees. So we're going to go to, there we go. So with Social Security, North Carolina, we got $174. All right, so $174 of taxes when you have $60,000 of income, of gross income, of which Social Security represents $40,000, and your IRAs are $20,000. Now let's flip it around a little bit. Now remember, $60,000 is $5,000 a month, and that seems to be a pretty good range for most retirees that I deal with. You know, some might be a little bit lower, some might be higher, but $60,000 usually is a pretty good number. So we're going to use that. Now we're going to go to $20,000 Social Security and $40,000 of income from IRAs or 401ks, and the taxes basically go up 10 times to $1,274. And look, actually, but that's just North Carolina. The total tax is $4,145. Look at that. So we go from 174 to 4,145, which if we take our trusty calculator here, which I got for $25 at Walmart, 4,145 divided by 174, that's a 24 times increase. Woo! I mean, that's 174 times 24. Yeah, that's 24 times more taxes simply because of the way your income is structured. So if you want to save $4,000 a year in taxes, you want to maximize your Social Security and minimize your retirement income. So how do we get this? So as always, we're going to show you how we get this, why it's so dastardly. And we got to figure out provisional income. So provisional income, you take half your Social Security benefit, which is $10,000, plus all your other income, which in this case is $40,000. Now, always remember, if you have tax-exempt interest, it goes into that as well. So your provisional income in this case is $50,000. Let's just maximize myself here. Your provisional income in this case is $50,000. All right, so $50,000 equals provisional income. Now we got to figure out of that provisional income how much of our Social Security benefits tax. So we take $50,000, 0 to 32, nothing is tax is subject to income tax. 32 to 44, that'd be 50% is subject to income tax, and 44 plus 85% is subject to income tax. All right, so we got $50,000 as our provisional income. The first $32,000, none of your Social Security benefit will be subject to tax. 32 to 44,000, 50% of that amount will be subject to Social Security tax, and 44 plus 85%. So now we have provisional income. We have $6,000 in here, and then we take 6,000 times 0.85. That's 5,100. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. And it's very simple, actually, once you understand it. So of the 32 to 44, that's $12,000, which is times by 50%, which gives us $6,000. So right now we know for a fact that of our Social Security benefits, 6,000 is going to be subject to income taxation. The next 44,000, 85% of that, the next amount above 44,000, 85% of that is subject to tax. In this case, 50,000 up to 44,000. So that's $6,000 is times 0.85%, which means 5,100 will be added to our taxation for Social Security. So our total Social Security taxation, their total income of Social Security that's subject to taxation is $11,100. All right, so that's that. So that's how much we know our provisional income is in terms of how much our Social Security will be subject to taxation. So we take our $11,100, we add to all the other sources of income, which we had were what? Were the $40,000 IRA distribution. So our AGI is $51,100. $51,100 is our AGI. And then you can just go to the tax brackets. You say basis 0 to 19 roughly. 10% is subject to taxation. No, that's just AGI. So now what we got to do is we got to take our standard deduction, minus a 26.6 of standard deduction. And we take our trusty calculator, 26.6. And that gives us, 51,100 minus 26.6. And that gives us 24,500 is our taxable income. 24,500 is our taxable income, as you can see. So we take the amount of Social Security that's subject to taxation, 11,100, plus all the other income, 40,000, which equals 51,100, which is our adjusted gross income. But then we take our standard deductions of 26,600, which gives us taxable income of 24,500. And we know that the first 19,000 is subject to 10%, and the next up to 77,000 is subject to 12%. So 0 to 19K, 10%, and 19K to 77K, 12%. All right, and that's how the tax code breaks down. Now, so it's not, this is rounding, so it's actually 19,500, 77,800, but that's how it breaks down. And so in that case, your taxable income will be 24,500, which means your taxes are 4,145 from the feds and state combined. Whereas if you only had 40,000 of Social Security and 20,000 of IRA income, your provisional income would basically be nothing. None of your Social Security would be subject to taxation. The state of North Carolina will get you a little bit on your $20,000 of income that you have, but they're only going to give you $174 on that $20,000, which would give you, that's less than 1%. So we're not talking huge amounts of taxes there. So North Carolina, again, just like all the others, behooves you to have more Social Security and less from IRA distribution. So let's just keep going down and see what else they say about the great state of North Carolina here. North Carolina isn't nearly as tax friendly as what you might think. I know it's in the South, and it's a beautiful state, don't get me wrong, but it's not nearly as tax friendly as a lot of people think. So I want to show you what's another great tool about this, actually, the smartasset.com. They got some wonderful tools here, which will show you the localities in the great state of North Carolina, which are most tax beneficial. So let's see what they got here. And I'm going to pause it for a second. And what you'll see is that the best, most tax-friendly towns in North Carolina. Number 7 is going to be Haywood, North Carolina. Number 10, let's see. Actually, let's just go down here. Number 7 is Kalahui, North Carolina. Number 10 is Woodfin. Number 4 is, what's that? Number 4 is Marvin. I guess that's a county they're in. Yeah, it's got to be the county they're in, right? All right, so we see the towns right here, and we got, we'll just use Marvin, North Carolina, as a property tax rate of 0.71%, a sales tax of $721, fuel tax, Social Security is not taxed, so you can see all that right there. How did they get? Now, this is different from the numbers I just used. I just want to point that out. This is different because their methodology is, which is pretty sweet, is not for necessarily a retiree with just Social Security and IRA. They're saying there are hypothetical right here. With a retiree with $50,000 of income, which consists of $15,000 from Social Security, $10,000 from a pension, $15,000 from retirement savings, an IRA or 401k, and $10,000 in wages. All right, so they're using basically a different set of numbers, but they're calculating specifically to a retiree, a single person with $50,000. Mostly, I'm just looking at for the property tax rate. Actually, I mean, look at that. There's quite a difference. Kalahi is 0.43, whereas where's the one I just saw? Yeah, right here. Marvin, which I bet is Mecklenburg, is about 40% higher than that. Now, to calculate the expected property tax by dividing median property tax paid by median home value for each city. I mean, so that's crazy. They're dividing it by the city, the median top property tax paid by median home value, which is, I mean, that's pretty amazing. And you got to remember, the median simply means 50% is above and 50% is below. So just because this says 0.71 in Marvin, that may or may not be applicable to you. It was a good start point for sure. All right, so let's see. In order to determine sales tax, we estimate that 35% of take-home pay is spent on taxable goods. We multiply the average sales tax rate for the city by the household income less income tax, and this product is then so they have some kind of crazy number they came up with it, but hey, I think it's pretty cool. For each city, we determine whether or not Social Security is taxable, and then we create an overall index to weighted index to best capture the taxes that most affect retirees. So they give a 4 times weighting to income tax, 3 times weighting to property tax, 2 times weighting to sales tax, 1 times weighting to fuel tax. I would have done it actually. I would have done it 4 times the property tax, 3 times the sales tax, and 2 times the income tax, because income tax can be controlled for sure, as we just witnessed, by maximizing your Social Security and minimizing your IRA distributions. But again, at the end of the day, this is important too, because like in Virginia, for example, the range of property tax ranges greatly if you're in Rockingham or Augusta County out in the western part of the state versus Fairfax County or Alexandria City. It's a complete different property tax rate. So to just say Virginia has an average property tax rate of 0.83 is completely misleading, because that average is skewed for the higher property values in Fairfax, Northern Virginia, as it would be to the western part of the state for sure. So you just got to look at the county that you're looking at in the city as well. So North Carolina, again, if you can maximize your Social Security benefits and minimize your IRA, you're going to pay a heck of a lot less in tax. And then, of course, as you're thinking about where to live in North Carolina, you would want to look at this, to look at the county and see how it might be applicable to you. All right. Hope this helps, my friends. As always, if you like what you see here, click down below to subscribe. Comments and thumbs up are always welcome. And of course, you can find all this at heritagewealthplanning.com. Just go to Tax Tools, the interactive tax page. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks, Don.